Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the AEW Dynamite report for December 1st, 2021. Bryan Danielson defeats Allen Five Angels in the opener of the match. Hangman Page is on commentary for the match. Danielson basically handles Angels pretty easily, and Angels comes back with a bunch of kicks, chops, and a couple of half punches in the corner. Gets cut off by strikes from Danielson. Angels surprises Danielson with a backslide, but Danielson suplexes him into a cross arm breaker and sends him into the ropes. There is the dive to the outside and lands a tope suicida and then a uh, diving moonsault off the top to the floor. Back in the ring, Angels goes top again, but has to adjust. Hits a Spanish fly for near fall. Danielson avoids moonsault and immediately crushes him with a knee before kicking Angels in the head. And Danielson locks on the knee bar for a quick submission, and off we go. After the match, Danielson goes on to be interviewed by Shivani in the ring, asking Danielson if he's ready. Danielson said he didn't think that that's the best that Atlanta's got because he kicked his head in and snapped his MCL. Last week he took out Colt Cabana's tooth. Next week he'll stomp another Dark Order member in. And in 2 weeks, Danielson will take on the world champion at his home in Dallas, in the home of the Dallas Cowboys. Page is on commentary. He gets angry about this, runs down to the ring. John Silver runs in, cuts him off, saying he'd get Danielson instead. Danielson flees, running away, and says this is all beneath him. If Page or Danielson touched each other, they'd be suspended. Danielson would slap Page right now, but the fans didn't deserve to see it. Anyway, there's a Miro video promo. He's unsure what to do until a vision came to him, and he revealed that he is, well, his God is not friendly. Miro said he has two weaknesses, and one he will repair, one he will embrace. And he says this is the word of the Redeemer, and off we go. MJF joins on commentary as CM Punk defeats Lee Moriarty. Bunch of chain wrestling early to start the match, and then Punk hits a drop kick, followed by a diving clothesline. We go to break and we come back. Moriarty makes a comeback and hits a running uppercut and a belly-to-belly suplex for near fall. Punk then hits a springboard crossbody, but Moriarty rolls through for near fall, and they lock on the over-the-shoulder crossface, but Punk fights out of that. Up on the top, Punk hits a Frankensteiner. They trade a bunch of cradles until Punk lands a high kick and drops Moriarty. Moriarty then comes back with a Pepsi twist for near fall, but then Punk powers him into the GTS for the win. Decent enough match, good match for Moriarty. Surprised he's being pushed to the point of being on television this quickly. Post-match, MJF grabs the mic and says that he's proud of Punk. The only thing he's good at nowadays is trying to get in Britt Baker's pants. Punk said that MJF is wearing Larry David's pajamas, and Lee Moriarty and QT Marshall are better than MJF, and he knows it. He told him to bring his needle self to the ring right now. MJF said Punk needs him more than he needs Punk, because he's giving him the spark that he hasn't had in some time, or since 2011. Next week, MJF's going to win the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal in Long Island, where he will be better than Bret Hart in Canada and Punk in Chicago. He insults Punk's dog, saying if he brought him around again, he'd put him to sleep. Anyway, Punk storms up the ramp to confront him, but Wardlow steps in front. Anyway, Women's World Champ Britt Baker's backstage. She is with Rebel and Jamie Hayter. Baker then complained about having to wrestle Riho. Hayter said that she's one of the best matches in the TBS tournament. Baker pointed out that she lost. Hayter will take on Riho next week. What a waste of Jamie Hayter. Adam Cole joined commentary for some reason. Orange Cassidy makes his entrance and faces off with Cole. The Young Bucks tried to sneak attack, but Orange has this scouted after landing some pretty stiff kicks. Cole then low blows Orange Cassidy, and the Bucks land a double super kick. Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta run out with chairs, chase them off, and at least the Bucks are remedied to comedy where they belong. Anyway, Tony Nese cuts a video promo. He will challenge Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship on Friday, and he'll go after the already injured ribs of the champion. Wardlow with Shawn Spears defeats AC Adams. Wardlow squashed him in 4 power bombs. Spears attacks Adams with chairs, and why Spears is still here is basically because he's a friend of Cody Rhodes. Penta and Pac are backstage due to an injury to Ray Phoenix. Pac is his replacement. In Friday's match against FTR, Pac has an eye patch on, but he would be a formidable opponent no matter what. Taz with Powerhouse Hobbs and Hook join commentary for this match. Rotating commentary is getting annoying at this point. Darby Allin and Sting defeat the Gun Club, Billy and Colton Gunn with Austin. Allin and Colton get a brief exchange, bit of a skirmish. Sting and Billy Gunn face off pretty quickly. Sting hits a bunch of back fists and atomic drops, but Billy avoids the Stinger splash. Allin then targets in and goes for a coffin splash, but Billy catches him and plants him with a Uranagi. Gun Club isolates Allin in the corner. Return from the break, Colton then hits the Scorpion Deathlock applied on Allin, who escapes that and then reaches for Sting. Hot tag, Sting lands Stinger splashes on both opponents and Spinebuster on Colton. For extra emphasis, the Scorpion Deathlock follows, but the official is distracted. Austin breaks it up from the outside. Billy hits a Famouser and he gets Sting kicks out at 2. Allin takes out Billy with another amazing dive that actually looks like it hurts rather than ballet. Then hits a float over stunner on Colton. Sting follows up with the Scorpion Death Drop for the win. You know what? Sting at 62 has matches that have better psychology than most of the talents that are young enough to be his. Well, in some cases, what? It's possible for him to have grandkids that are in AEW? Maybe. Anyway, Chris Jericho is interviewed backstage. He said he didn't come to Eddie Kingston's aid last week, but he's out there to take 2.0 on Garcia and company, then attack Jericho from behind. After the break, we're informed that Jericho is receiving medical attention. We're also informed that no one with half a brain cares. Taz talks about how 25% of the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal were Team Taz members. Leo Rush interrupts, saying Taz should know he had the odds stacked against him his entire career. He's going to win the Dynamite Dozen, and people know that he's a fighter. Taz said that Rush should just retire, and that Dante Martin and Ricky Starks comes out and taunts Rush to protect Taz. Anyway, Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling are backstage. They said Cargill would face off against Thunder Rosa. Student Jamie Kai on Rampage. Kai seems to be a really popular name for women's wrestlers. Anyway, Rosa interrupts, saying she'd be on commentary. Ruby Soho defeats Chris Statlander in the TBS Championship Tournament. It starts slow, but does get good by the end of the match. Neither woman really can establish a clear advantage in the early stages, and they've scouted each other pretty well. Soho hits a flatliner pretty early, takes control ahead of the break. Soho then lands a top rope senton for a near fall, and then a buzzsaw kick for another near fall. Statlander goes for a spider crab, but instead opts for a buckle bomb and almost hits a Michinoku driver for a near fall. Soho comes back with elbows and a bunch more strikes. Statlander then backs into a turnbuckle attack, but Soho turns it into a poison Rana and a spike Rana for a good pair of near falls. Soho then goes for no future, but Statlander blocks. Soho reverses, and the Big Bang Theory gets nailed into a victory cradle for the win. AEW Rampage 12-3, TBS Championship, Sammy Guevara and Tony Nese. Death Triangle, Pac and Penta defeat or go after FTR and Jade Cargill in action. Dynamite for the 8th is Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal, Bryan Danielson, John Silver, Riho, and Jamie Hayter. Dynamite Winter is Coming, 12:15. Hangman Page, Bryan Danielson has been announced. Atlanta Street Fight in your main event because Cody has to put himself over big in Atlanta, and certainly he does. Cody with Arn Anderson defeats Andrade with Jose. Andrade attacks. During the entrance, Arn and Jose fight on the stage. Cody and Andrade brawl up into the crowd. Cody hits a twisting cross body block off the barricade. The match goes back into the ring. Cody hits a snap power slam. Continues to be booed throughout. Andrade then low blows him, whips him into with the weight belt, and then pulls out Jose's laptop and smashes that over Cody's face. Why that's important, we don't really know. Also, the use of a chair. Andrade then looks for chain. Cody avoids the shot, forcing Andrade to hit a split leg moonsault onto Cody through the chair for near fall. Cody fights out, suplex, and then kicks Andrade low. Goes for the Cody cutter, but Andrade counters by pushing Cody to the floor. Ahead of the commercial, we're back into things, and then Andrade goes for another chair and then a moonsault. Cody then tosses things back in, and Cody grabs the chair or the chain and then punches Andrade with the chain and then goes for the tope, but Andrade cuts him off with the chair shot again. Andrade rips up the padding at ringside, goes for a shadow DDT on the exposed floor, but Cody busted open, powers out of that. Cody then grabs a kendo stick and teaches a sledgehammer and goes for a golden shovel. Jose runs in with a taser, gets smacked by Cody, and then Andrade splashes Cody over in the corner and back onto the floor. Back in the ring, Andrade hits a corner double knee through a chair into Cody's face. Near fall there. Andrade positions the table and puts it in the ring. Cody lands on the drop down right hand, charges at Andrade and hip tosses through a table for his trouble. Andrade then brings in another table and perches Cody on top of it. Climbs the ropes, but Cody rolls out. Andrade comes up. Cody crotches Andrade on the top rope. Brandy makes her return and douses lighter fluid on the table. She then lights the whole thing on fire. Cody hits the reverse DDT through the flaming table, burning himself in the process for the win. And Cody and Brandy are baby faces because we brought fire back to national television. Not a fan, but that's your Dynamite. And we'll be back with more right after this.